going up.
Nope. I know how this ends. No, I'm not falling for it. No way. Yeah, right.
We are going up, right? Aw, hell. Yeah, welcome to The Drop, presented by EA Sports NHL 23. We're back. We somehow made it out alive.
We did. You have been trying to do the Sports Center parody with NJ Devil since we've met, maybe? So I'm so happy for you that you got your moment.
We did it. We did it.
Your cinematic moment.
And actually, to pull the curtain a little bit, shout out to Jay Harris for coming in on his day off to film that with us.
Yeah.
And thank you for watching us, whether you're seeing us live on Twitter, on the ESPN app, on ESPN Plus, wherever you may be, the ESPN app, Facebook, wherever it is. Greg Wyshynski, Arda Ocal. We're back for Season 2 of The Drop. We are leading in to a big NHL opening night regular season doubleheader on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Kicking things off at 7:30 p.m. Eastern is a rematch of the Eastern Conference Final between the New York Rangers and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tampa dispatched them 4-2 in the playoffs, and here they are again.
All right, Arda, you got one game to win. One game to win. Are you an Andrei Vasilevsky man or are you an Igor Shesterkin fan?
Today, I am a Andrei Vasilevsky man. But by the end of both of their careers, I might very well switch and become an Igor Shesterkin man. And I will say that I selected Igor Shesterkin in our predictions.
You did.
That's at ESPN.com right now. All of our predictions, every single on-air personality at ESPN NHL. Me and Mark Messier, the only two that selected Igor Shesterkin as our Hart Trophy favorite.
Okay, he didn't win it last year. He won't win it this year. But to answer your question, or answer my question to you, I'm an Igor man. I would take Igor over Vasilevsky right now. One game to win, give me Igor.
Wow.
Give me Igor. And that's no slight to Vasilevsky. The cat, he's on his way to maybe a Hall of Fame career, like you said.
Wow.
But Igor's the best in the world, baby.
Okay.
We are talking a Hasek-level goalie at this point in his career.
We certainly are. That's game number one. Game two will be the Golden Knights against the Los Angeles Kings. A doubleheader to kick things off. But you know how we should kick things off here on The Drop? We got to do it with a bang.
They're a team that's looking to become a dynasty. We're a team that's looking to start a legacy.
And a goal right on cue. Nathan McKinnon. Bouncing puck and a goal. Colorado has won the Stanley Cup.
For the Avalanche, it's been 21 long years since they hoisted the Stanley Cup. They've climbed the mountain and are on top of the mountain again.
You grow up, you see that thing as a kid, and you have pictures of it on your wall, and it's surreal.
A massive moment indeed for the Colorado Avalanche and their fans. A massive moment for us to begin our second season here on ESPN's The Drop with a Stanley Cup champion. JT Comphe joining us right now. And apparently you have your Stanley Cup ring with you. They were just presented to all of you. And you were nice enough to give us a little bit, I guess, of a backstage tour with it. Can you show us the box first, actually?
Yeah, I'll grab the box. Thanks for having me, guys. It's been, last night was very fun. So we got the name on the box, and then on the top, Stanley Cup champs. And then when you open it up, there's a cool video they played. So it's starting right now.
That's awesome.
Everyone was synced up and saw it at the same time. So.
And you said you can mute the music, right? Like I think in the video it was playing like Claire de Lune or something. Like you can mute the music in the box?
Yeah, you can. It plays on loop, so I haven't gotten it going since I've been home. But last night was a very fun night. Yeah, very fun night.
Can you show us the ring? I'm curious. You know how sports championship rings these days have like special compartments or unique engravings? Can you show us what's unique about this Stanley Cup ring?
So I don't want to mess up all of it, but we got it right here.
Oh my God!
So on this side we've got. It plays, has our championship year, 2022, obviously, and then you've got 01 and 96, kind of lower. Sorry, I'm messing up the angles there. The other side's got our name and number. And then a few cool touches just inside has like hard to see, but the series we won, the date that we won it, they did a great job. They're super cool. They're clean. Never seen anything quite that shiny, that's for sure.
Last one on this. So apparently that ring, 18.5 carat ring, 669 diamonds, 42 rubies, 20 sapphires. I mean, does it weigh a lot? Like, is it very weighty?
Yeah, it's definitely a little heavier than I thought it would be. But yeah, you had all the stats. They gave us a sheet with all of them, but I think we all just saw it and wanted to throw it on and take a few pictures together. So it was definitely a fun night to share with the team, and one of the last things of celebrating. And now it's time to turn the page, right?
Do you wear it to Starbucks? Like when do you break out the ring? Have you thought about that yet?
I don't know really when I would wear it or what the situation would be. Obviously a nice thing to have. I don't think it'll be a casual wear though. Probably only a handful of times if I had to guess.
You're not wearing your grocery shopping.
No, you don't do that at all. You can't do it. All right, listen, JT. There was really huge news today besides the start of the NHL season. Blink-182 announced that they're reuniting for an album and a tour. And the internet has been abuzz with this one question. How responsible are the Colorado Avalanche to the reuniting of Blink-182 based on all the small things being played at Stanley Cup games?
It's funny you say that. That was actually talked about at lunch after practice today. Someone brought that up and said that we may have had something to do with it. But yeah, everywhere we went, especially right after we won around Denver, that was the song. Even played at my Cup day back in Chicago. And awesome to see how the fans react. And it was always just a thing. Wherever we went with the Cup, that was the song that was on when we walked into a place.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. So you had the Stanley Cup this summer. You're able to spend some time with Lord Stanley, the hockey's holy grail. First off, did you eat anything out of the cup? And sidebar, did you have to text Nathan MacKinnon for approval to eat something out of the cup?
I think that's the one day a year that you don't have to ask for approval. But we did chocolate chip pancakes at my house. My mom's been making them. Used to be my pregame meal when I was young. And that's how we started the day. After that, I think it was mostly just alcohol in there by the end of the night. But the pancakes were nice, got them chocolate chip, covered in syrup. It was a nice way to start the morning.
Love it, love it.
JT, I'm curious, after you win the Stanley Cup, how long do you celebrate that before you really start to think of this upcoming season?
I'd say we had a good couple weeks where we enjoyed it, and the way the game is now, you can't really take too much time off of training. Or I think within like 2 weeks, I was back in the gym. You get a little bit of rest, and then as the summer goes on, you have different times where you celebrate a little bit more. Like my day in Chicago last night with the rings. There's certain times where you're still celebrating, but there's a season coming up, and we still have the same goal that we had at the beginning of last season, is to go try and win the Stanley Cup.
It's so different now for the Avs, right? For so many years, the Avs were chasing the Stanley Cup, best team in the league, high expectations. Finally, last season, the team wins the Cup. Now you go from hunter to hunted, still the odds-on favorite to win the Cup. What's that change been like among, the mentality for yourself and your teammates?
I think we've obviously didn't get to the top of the mountain before last year, but we always got, we had great seasons where we were winning President's Trophy and, winning a lot of games and a team that a lot of teams wanted to play against and wanted to measure against. So we've seen part of it obviously be a different level this year. We know that when we played Tampa last year, that's a measuring stick game. That's where we wanted to see where we were. And, we'll be ready for it. We're a group that loves the competition, loves to be tested, and it'll be, a fun challenge every night.
All right, JT. Thank you so much for your time, man. Best of luck this season. Just once for me. Wear the ring at the Taco Bell drive-thru. Just one time.
I mean,
you're reaching for the bag, you've gotten your chalupas, and you've got the ring on. I just want to know what that is like as someone who will never win a Stanley Cup.
I'll make sure I send you that video.
Please do.
We'll air it on the drop. JT, thank you, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
I'm just saying, you grab the chalupa bag, and you've got the cup ring. I mean...
Oh, wait, there's my large Coke. Oh, sorry.
Right.
Let me just grab it with my...
Honestly, if you won the cup and you had a ring that
I'd be
looked like
obnoxious
that
with it.
a bunch
Absolutely.
of sapphires and rubies, I would wear it everywhere.
Oh, absolutely.
Walking the dog, picking up poo with the ring. I would wear it everywhere.
I would never do that.
That thing cleans up well, I think. Here's a bag.
Let us know what you would do if you had a Stanley Cup ring or even a championship ring. Tweet us at Wyshynski at Arda. We are debuting a new segment on the drop this year. It is called The Search for Merch. This is an opportunity for all NHL teams to essentially present us with their new great marketing, merchandising opportunities. And you actually are wearing one.
I am wearing one right now. This is from the New Jersey Devils. It is the New Jersey Devils X My Chemical Romance t-shirt that I think was on sale maybe at the MCR show at The Rock. But keep this in mind. What we want is to see the absolute coolest stuff that teams are giving out to their fans, creating for themselves, and then also, like, the worst stuff.
Which leads us to... this happened in the offseason. Why don't you explain what's going on here?
Okay, so this was part of a gold statue bust set that they gave out in the preseasons of the Vegas Golden Knights. This is supposed to be Jack Eichel. Now, you said it looked a little like Alfred E. Newman from Mad Magazine.
Yeah,
I
breaking
agree
news.
with that.
All it's missing is the gap tooth, I suppose.
But this was the Jack Eichel bust. Obviously, Arda and I didn't really get out to many Vegas Golden Knights preseason games. So if there is a Jack Eichel bust that could be provided to the drop from our friends, as you see the Cristiano Ronaldo statue
The
of the
greatest
National Hockey
statue
League.
of all time. Never, ever to be surpassed.
If you've got any of those Eichel statues kicking around, please send it over to us. We will put it on our set like a totem, like a totem, an honor to Eichel.
Yes.
Yes. But yeah, best and worst merch for these teams. Send it our way. At the end of the year, we will disperse all the merch that we search for to the viewers.
That's the part.
The
that
search for
really
merch.
matters.
Reach out to me and Arda. Search for merch, baby.
Yeah, please reach out to us on social media. Maybe it'll be a vigil. Actually, we'll put like candles around. I don't know. Anyway,
That's right.
A lot happened this off season. I think it's only fair here on the drop that we catch you up. And now you're caught up.
Yeah,
now you
that's
know
incredible.
exactly what happened. Actually, one more thing did happen,
What's
and that
that?
is the Seattle Kraken unveiled their brand spanking new mascot.
Boy,
Meet
did
Buoy.
Boy, did they. Buoy. Buoy. I
I was saying buoy.
I
Shut up,
say
Pablo Torre.
boo. They're not booing, they're buoying.
Yeah, so we all saw it. We will show it to you momentarily. It got, I guess, to put it kindly, mixed reviews on social media.
Well, I just think, and here you see Buoy descending from the top of Climate Pledge Arena, and he's got the big Kraken flag. So here's the thing with Buoy. Buoy is a mascot that's been created in a post-gritty world. That's a problem. No matter what you do, it's going to pale in comparison to gritty. Problem number two, Buoy is not of the sea. I think that's the problem a lot of people had.
Let's be fair. Like, I get the backstory, the whole Fremont troll.
Right.
I understand the backstory and its connection to the city of Seattle.
Yeah.
I'm not upset at that whatsoever.
Right.
But I look at Buoy and I'm just like,
Well, the Kraken have done so many things to get our attention. You know, naming themselves after a mystical sea creature. You know,
amazing.
the jerseys are very unique.
Yes,
the color scheme's
love
very
it.
unique. And on this one, I feel like they went generic. They went a little too generic. Now, granted, the most ear hair for any NHL mascot. He looks like my Uncle Leo. It's fantastic. But pretty generic. So I thought to myself, Arda, Self, what could we do on the drop to give the Kraken the mascot that they deserve? And so here are some alternative mascot concepts with the Seattle Kraken. We'll begin with Tenty the Tentacle.
oh my gosh.
Of the sea.
Already off the rails.
Like a Kraken. Okay? Lubed up and gooey like the ear of a San Diego
come
Padres pitcher.
Oh Off the rails immediately.
I'm a bitter Mets fan.
Yeah, sure you
I
are.
think you go seafaring. I don't quite understand how you're something as cool as a Kraken and then not go with a mascot of the sea, something related to a Kraken. They said that no one knows what a Kraken looks like. I've seen 2 different versions of Clash of the Titans. I know what a Kraken looks like. Or
We all
perhaps,
know what.
Perhaps instead of buoy, we go with boy. This is your classic. It's your classic Seattle
That's
slacker.
my favorite right there.
You got yourself some flannel. You got yourself a Sonics hat. Obviously, you're just biding your time with the Kraken until the NBA comes back. You go with boy instead of buoy, Arda.
I love the flannel.
Right. It's required.
Shout out to the grunge
you
scene
can see,
of the
you
90s.
can see it
I love it.
tied around Stone Gothard's waist. Or perhaps instead you go with maybe another iconic Seattle thing, Pike the Fish. Pike the Fish. Arda, did you know that there's a market in Seattle where they throw fish?
Yeah,
Were you
very
aware of
well
that?
aware, very well
Were you
aware,
aware of that?
yes.
Have you ever seen it on a sports broadcast where they go to the market and they're throwing the fish?
Quite possibly,
Okay.
yes. Maybe even on ESPN.
So you put somebody in the fish outfit. You put handles on the fish outfit. Now we're gonna need a small person, maybe like 5'3". You put him in the fish outfit. Fans at the games grab Pike the Fish, throw him like they do at the market. Again, better than buoy, more interactive, more in keeping with the theme. Again, of the sea. That's what I'm talking about. Of the sea, Arda.
Okay, sorry, I saw a face of a child in that as well.
Well,
Is that
okay,
why is that the 5'3" person you were
could
referring to?
You could put a child in it. You could. If there's enough padding, I think a child would have a lot of fun being hurled by fans, wouldn't it?
And terrified. Look at that face, terrified.
See, you have the handles on the side. You have a small blonde child in the outfit.
What is going on?
It's Pike the Fish. I don't understand what the problem is. There may be some laws against it, but in concept and theory, I think it's an improvement over buoy, wouldn't you say? No? No Pike the Fish? All right, we should move on to a segment with our friends from EA Sports NHL 23.
Time now for Greater Together, presented by EA Sports NHL 23, where we take a look at some of the new duos, the new tag teams around the NHL that could quite possibly contend against the likes of Marner Matthews, Kaprizov Zuccarello, the 2 front runners for the tag team champions of the NHL.
Or Makar Taves. Give the defenseman some love.
Absolutely.
A little bit of love. A little bit of love.
We're going to do that here. I got one of these. Beautiful. We're going to rank these top 5. I'm going to move out of the way because you can now see that we have a top 5 on the screen behind us, and we have 5 options here for new duos. Of course, it was a very busy offseason. Why don't we rank these, Wish?
Okay. I think we start at number 5. I think we go Jonathan Huberdeau and Tyler Toffoli.
Wow.
Well, if only because we don't know how they're going to click. I don't think they're going to click to the tune of 82 goals, which is what Tkachuk and Gaudreau had for the Flames last season. I find it funny, Arda, that basically the Florida Panthers and the Calgary Flames both see Jonathan Huberdeau in different ways. The Panthers say, we need ourselves a Matthew Tkachuk to win in the playoffs. The Flames are like, we need ourselves a Jonathan Huberdeau to win in the playoffs. Who is correct?
But here's the thing, the whole conversation was about how Brad Treliving had an incredible offseason when it could have been a disaster, and now you're saying that it's worse?
I think the Mackenzie Weegar of it all means that it's probably better.
Okay, I see.
But I do think that, look, if you take 82 goals off their top line, plus whatever Gaudreau and Tkachuk were responsible for as far as Elias Lindholm's share, I don't think you replace that as easily as people think with Huberdeau or with Kadri. So I think this is a really good pairing, but I don't think it's top tier.
As compared to the remaining duos that we have on the list. Who's number 4?
Number 4, homer pick, Jack Hughes and Andre
I know where
Palat.
this is going.
No, listen.
Homer, that's all you have to say. Say
All
less.
Jack Hughes needs, besides to play 70 games, is a guy on his line that can play a little D, a guy on his line whose job it is to go to the net, put his stick blade down, and let Jack Hughes hit it with a pass, just like Nikita Kucherov hit it with a pass, just like Steven Stamkos hit it with a pass. And Andre Palat is an ideal player. I was at Devils camp earlier this preseason. They're super excited, one, to have a guy that's got some rings in that locker room, because there ain't many. and 2, to have a guy that I think is going to be able to really accentuate how good Jack Hughes can be on his line by not only giving him that asset to score some goals, but also to take care of the other side of the rink, which has been a problem for Hughes' lines in the past.
So we know Andre Palat, revered in Tampa.
Yeah.
Okay. He was a really big key depth piece there.
Right.
Now he comes and he joins Jack Hughes. But this tandem specifically, do you see big things out of that?
I do. Yeah, I do. I think that Palat can make Hughes better. I think Hughes is going to be able to do the same things for Palat that the Lightning's great offensive players did. And again, Jack, no 49 games, buddy. 70 at least. You get to 70, playoff team. Anything less than that?
Let me tell you, if Jack Hughes plays 70 games like you said, if this tandem is clicking, all I'm saying is I hope that the Devils staff have a lot of sticks, because I'm going to see a lot of those going above the glass into the crowd. And I want that to continue as well. Number 3.
Number 3 is going to be a little defenseman action. Jacob Slavin and Brent Burns. Speaking of the Devils, I saw my good friend Dougie Hamilton the other day. And I said,
my close personal friend.
Thank you,
Dougie.
we go to many museums together. And I said, Dougie, isn't it funny how the Hurricanes had to go all the way to San Jose to actually finally find the Dougie Hamilton replacement? Got a little chuckle out of him. No disrespect to Tony DeAngelo. Okay, a little bit. But Brent Burns is a superior defenseman to DeAngelo. He is the rightful heir to what Dougie gave the Hurricanes when he was there playing with Slavin. I love this pickup for Carolina. I think it works out culturally. I think it works out analytically. A guy who pumps shots on goal like few others have during his career. And I think that pairing him with Slavin is going to give us that little Burns in his prime Mark Edward Vlasic chemistry that we saw in San Jose for years before Vlasic kind of lost the thread.
Do you think Burns has a few years left in him, though?
I think he's got at least 2 years left in him. Okay. That's all you need. That's all you need.
Because the time is now for Carolina.
Yeah, I think Carolina picking up Burns, and I think Carolina picking up Pacioretty when he's healthy. They're going to get that one goal they've not been able to get in the playoffs to get over the hump and play for the Cup.
There you go. Number 2.
Number 2 on our list is going to be Alex DeBrincat, include
wow
for the Ottawa Senators. Now, the happiest man on earth this summer, Tim Stützle for the Ottawa Senators. This man is going to get a chance to play in between Giroux and DeBrincat this season. Kid, you're going to blow up. Kid, you're going in the first round in many fantasy drafts because these guys are going to absolutely light it up for Ottawa. I am not as bullish on the Senators as many are. A lot of people have them penciled in for the playoffs. I think our own John Buccigross, for example, thinks they're going to be a playoff team, while the Florida Panthers will not. Which is a very interesting pick. But I do think that these guys are going to absolutely blow up. And again, as we've seen before, Arda, one line is sometimes all you need. And Brady Tkachuk will obviously, pull the rope too for them. But sometimes all you need is one dominant line. Look at the Dallas Stars last year with the Robertson line, right? You just need one line sometimes, and I think there's a chance that the Ottawa Senators might be able to push through if this DeBrincat, Giroux, Stützle line is as good as we think.
That line could be the best line in hockey.
It very well could be.
The potential is there.
The potential is there.
So that's why they are at number 2, but they are not at number 1. Why are Johnny Gaudreau and Patty Laine number 1, Thompson C-Bus? Why?
Because you wanted them there.
I absolutely did. Let me tell you why.
You tell me why. Because I thought that DeBrincat and Giroux should be top, but you said Gaudreau and Laine.
I love this pairing right here.
Okay.
Johnny Gaudreau, the fact that he's in Columbus is incredible, first of all, because nobody saw that coming.
No one did.
But the happiest person, to your point, Tim Stützle being happy in Ottawa, the happiest person about this is Patrick Laine. Because I can see Johnny Gaudreau and Patrick Laine combining for highlight reel goal after highlight reel goal. I can see Gaudreau unlocking Patrick Laine, him having maybe his best statistical season in his entire career. I see big things for this duo here.
You don't think Johnny Gaudreau was just singing for his supper last year statistically? Just to get that big contract and he's going to fall off now because he's got his money?
Absolutely not. Okay. How dare you think that players would even do that? Come on.
I think this is going to be a really good line. I am very interested to see who ends up in the middle. They've got some kids in that lineup. Stillman, Johnson, that could potentially be the center for these two. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by it. I still put DeBrincat and Giroux over these two, But Johnny Hockey and Patrick Laine are going to be worth the price of admission.
We're going to definitely have this debate throughout the season. Now, this segment, of course, was brought to you by EA Sports NHL 23. The game is out now, early, and you've seen in previous weeks and days some ratings for players. Some surprising ones, not so surprising ones. We actually have a special one right here. There's you're in the game, apparently. Congratulations, buddy.
Fantastic. I got a 98 in Devil's Homerism, as evident by this segment we just did. Craft beer ability, I could see that being low. I mean, I'm more of a wine guy at times. And trolling, look, I'm no buoy.
Troll defense, actually. So, like, your ability to deflect the trolls, 94, respectable.
Now, did they put getting hit in the face with a pie by a mascot and Will Wheaton in the game like the Zegras? Is that a part of the game now?
It's actually,
are you still
it's
lobbying
drawn
for
in.
that?
Yes, and Ray Ferraro actually does commentary on it, just like he does in the game. Hey, at least it's you getting a pie in the face, not like me last season on this show. Yeah.
Mika Zibanejad. The New York Rangers take a 2-0 lead.
We had to stop the Rangers' roll.
Stamkos, a rocket. Kucherov has made it 2-0. Scored! Tampa Bay wins. They're on to the Stanley Cup final for the 3rd year in a row.
So, of course, on ESPN, a doubleheader to kick off the regular season in the NHL. The late game will be the Golden Knights and the LA Kings, but as you just saw, kicking things off 7:30 Eastern on ESPN and ESPN Plus, the Rangers, the Lightning. Let's do a state of the team for both of them. Let's start with the state of the Tampa Bay Lightning. 4 straight Cup final appearances, how likely?
Potentially likely. They got to tell me that Mikhail Sergachev can do the things that Ryan McDonough did.
Okay.
Which I'm not sure if he can. And the other thing, too, is that I don't think that they're going to miss Andre Palat in the regular season. They've got a good collection of forwards there, but my God.
Yeah.
You think about all that guy did
of
in the playoffs. I mean, stealth Conn Smythe guy, every time they've made a run, that's where they're really going to lose him. And there's been some attrition there. I mean, remember Tyler Johnson gone, Palat gone. Like, they've lost some of these guys that have contributed over the years.
McDonough's a character guy, right?
McDonough's a character guy, too.
Really good locker room.
But would you say they're a dynasty? Like, even if they don't make the Cup final again this year, would you say that they're a dynasty? 2 Cups in a row, all those conference finals. They lost in the finals this past season to Colorado. They lost in the final to Chicago as well. Are they a dynasty?
Very close. I mean, as much as we can define one in the NHL, definitely.
Yeah.
If they make the Stanley Cup final, you could say the last 4 years were a dynasty. I mean, we saw it obviously in the NBA, right, with Golden State and with Cleveland.
You don't have to win all the time.
You don't have to win all the time, be there, but it's even harder in the NHL. Right? So I would say it's a very fair statement to make.
I don't have them coming out of the East. I have Carolina. But again, I think that them coming out of the East is not implausible.
Okay.
One, mainly because I think they're pissed. Like John Cooper told me that this loss stung them. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're on a revenge tour.
Yeah, exactly. Revenge could be on their minds. What about for the New York Rangers? Do they have enough? Vinny Trocheck on the team now. Is that enough for them to get over the hump and make it to the final?
Potentially. My concern for the Rangers is at 5-on-5. They did a lot of really good things last year. Their power play was killer. Obviously, Shesterkin was the best in the world, still may be. But they weren't a good 5-on-5 team. Their analytics were all over the map at even strength. They kind of righted the ship late in the season after the trade deadline, but a lot of those guys are gone, like Andrew Kopp. So they bring in Trocheck, and I'm hopeful that he's going to be able to push them into a little bit of a better place at 5-on-5. But Arda, let's be honest. We are all living day by day waiting to see if Patrick Kane is going to be a New York Ranger. Aren't we? Patrick Kane is not going to be a Chicago Blackhawk by the trade deadline. Patrick Kane has a no-movement clause. Patrick Kane had the most talented line mate of his life in Artemi Panarin, who is in New York on a line that, oh, wait, that's right, needs a right wing. So we're all waiting for it to happen. I think it'll eventually will.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that team and, of course, with Patrick Kane. And, I mean, that's going to be one of the storylines.
Another look-in? Come on.
What is – they're not even playing right now. This is a replay. What is going on here?
It is unbelievable. There are only 2 shows that never get the look-in. It's Monday Night Football and The Drop. We've told you guys this.
This is ridiculous. They are playing tonight against the Guardians, but like, come on. Unbelievable.
I know.
Here on the drop.
You know, as a Mets
I can't believe we've been judged.
As a Mets fan, this is doubly hurty. I got to be honest
Actually, I
with
like
you.
that part.
Yeah,
well, I'm
I know.
a Jays fan. It's no better. It was 8-1. Ha ha ha.
It's bad.
It's the new. It was 4-1. Anyway, let's do some picks before we go here. Real quick. Stanley Cup champion.
Edmonton Oilers.
Toronto Maple Leafs. Hart Trophy.
McDavid.
I'm going Igor Shesterkin. Shocker. Me and Messier. Calder.
Matty Beniers, but Logan Thompson's a possibility.
Matty Beniers. Most improved.
Most improved, probably the Devils.
Oh, gee, what a shock there. The homer pick. I'll go with the Islanders. All right. Before we go here, tune into ESPN. If you're watching on ESPN Plus, you can watch the game there as well. The Rangers and Lightning about to start. We have an announcement about this show, The Drop. If you've been with us since last season, you may have noticed that the same thing happened last season where we started on opening night and then we went on a little bit of a hiatus, a little bit of a break until the second half of the season. Good news and bad news. The bad news is that's going to happen again for this particular format. However, we do have some great news to share, Greg Wyshynski.
Indeed. Every Thursday, NHL on ESPN YouTube, The Drop, me and Arda, a cavalcade of guests, the usual fun and nonsense from this show. It's a video podcast, people, and we're doing it weekly, and we hope you come and check us out.
We did it! Join us there next. Thanks for watching The Drop. Enjoy tonight's doubleheader presented by EA Sports NHL 23. Enjoy the night of hockey action. The NHL is back here on ESPN.
It was a great show, man.